A single stomp echoes, and the ground seems to tremble beneath the elephant's advance. It does not need to charge forward. Simply moving closer is enough to make anything nearby hesitate. Beneath its rough gray skin lie lasting memory, deep composure, and an unshakable will. What happens when this giant decides to stand its ground? Along the riverbanks of Africa, crocodiles have long been masters of ambush beneath murky waters. With a length of about 16 feet and a bite force around 3,700 pounds per square inch, they are enough to make many animals cautious when approaching to drink or cross the current. But during the dry season, as water levels drop and pools shrink to just a few feet deep, that advantage is compressed into a narrow space where every ripple becomes a signal. Within that confined water, encounters with elephants become especially intense. The crocodile still surges forward by instinct, fast like a trap springing from the mud. But this time, it faces a massive body weighing around 20,000 pounds. The elephant pivots sharply, steps forward in rapid succession, swings its trunk with force, and releases powerful calls that send water splashing. Instead of retreating, it pushes the pressure back toward its opponent, turning an ambush into a controlled act of resistance. In the remaining narrow waterholes across the grasslands, the situation grows even more tense. When a mother elephant with her calf has its safety space challenged, she immediately shifts into a decisive defensive stance. That response does not come from panic, but from a strong protective instinct. Yet if the calf moves too far beyond that circle of protection, nature rarely allows room for error. At the water's edge, survival belongs to the one that holds the boundary to the very end. On the sunlit grasslands of Africa, presence is often defined by size. The rhinoceros appears like a living fortress, with thick skin and a weight of around 5,000 pounds. Its sharp keratin horn, reaching up to about 4 feet, stands as a symbol of solitary strength, enough to make any hunter keep its distance. Yet before the arrival of long-trunked giants, that presence can suddenly seem diminished in a confrontation that unfolds without noise. The tension often centers near the water's edge, where resources become most valuable. A male elephant in must may move forward to assert priority. A mother rhinoceros lowers her stance at once, holding position to shield her calf. But against the advantages of height, mass, and spatial pressure, she struggles to maintain her ground for long. In the end, the mother and calf withdraw toward the brush to remain safe. Between elephants and rhinoceroses exists a unique relationship. two heavyweights sharing the same essential living space. From fresh grazing patches to critical water sources during the tightening dry season, the boundary between them is as thin as an invisible line. A branch swept towards the other is not merely a warning, it becomes a quiet signal of shifting priority. At the harshest edge of survival, these encounters are not about causing harm, but about arranging order around vital resources. The lion is often called the king of the savanna. A full-grown male can weigh around 420 pounds. They hunt through ambush, bursts of speed, and coordinated group strength. For many herbivores, that presence is a constant threat. But with elephants, especially when a calf is present, any approach can quickly turn into a high-pressure standoff. As the lions move along low terrain, using dense grass to close the distance, they spot a mother and calf ahead. Their assessment is swift, focusing on the smaller, more vulnerable individual. Yet this time, the plan is halted almost immediately. The mother elephant is the first to detect them. In a single moment, she shifts from alert to decisive action, moving forward with enough force to make the predators pause. Her trunk swings with power, her steps come in rapid succession, and her forward surge delivers a clear warning. A sharp call quickly brings other adult elephants into the scene. The older females gather at once, forming a living barrier and tightening a protective circle around the calf. Faced with that formation, the lions no longer confront a single target, but a unified group moving with shared intent. The predators withdraw. During the dry season on the African plains, the remaining waterholes are not just places to quench thirst, but spaces where presence defines priority. The hippopotamus dominates the shallow water, with a body weighing around 8,000 pounds and a well-known territorial response. But when adult African elephants slowly approach the water's edge, that familiar balance is immediately tested. They do not seek confrontation. They come for water to cool their bodies, protect their skin, and reduce energy loss under the intense heat. That calm presence creates the greatest pressure. The hippopotamus rises, keeps its distance, and watches each heavy step entering the shallows. Faced with a significant difference in size and mass, the one that steps back first is often the one that once held control. At times, a bull elephant must cross a stretch of river where a group of hippopotamuses remains partially submerged. Even a slight movement beneath the murky surface can raise the tension, as one individual emerges to test the reaction of the passing giant. But with its greater weight and steady movement, the elephant quickly shifts the balance. Each step pressing into the soft mud prompts the group to adjust their distance. In most encounters like this, the hippopotamus gradually moves away from the water's edge. It is not surrender, but a measured response shaped by generations. Under the late afternoon light on the savanna, a pack of African wild dogs begins to tighten its formation around a moving group of elephants. Known for speeds reaching about 40 miles per hour and highly coordinated teamwork, they focus on the more exposed individual, the calf lagging slightly behind. Even a brief opening can raise the tension. The response comes almost immediately. The mother elephant turns and positions herself between the pack and the calf. She does not need to charge far. A few firm steps forward, her body widened, and a steady protective stance are enough to form a living barrier that is difficult to approach. Each time the pack attempts to shift direction, she adjusts her position, closing every gap. After several probing attempts, the wild dogs gradually ease the pressure and withdraw. The elephant group continues moving in a tight formation. On the savanna, advantage does not belong only to those that move faster, but also to those that know when to hold their ground to protect the young. Under the intense heat of Africa, water sources draw many species together. The African buffalo holds one of the most resilient positions at these sites. With a body weighing around 1,900 pounds, thick horns, and a steady defensive response, even the lion approaches with caution. But when a bull elephant, standing about 10 feet tall, appears at the water's edge, the familiar balance begins to shift. The elephant does not need to approach quietly. It moves straight forward, building pressure with speeds of up to about 25 miles per hour, using its sheer size to dominate space. If the leading buffalo attempts to hold position, the elephant continues advancing, narrowing the space near the water and prompting the herd to adjust. African buffalo are resilient, but they also assess risk carefully. As pressure from size and space increases, they often move away from the edge, allowing passage and leaving the richer grass close to the water behind. In the world of elephants, the greatest challenge does not always come from predators, but from another bull. During the musth phase, testosterone levels can rise significantly, making the male more sensitive to unfamiliar scents, fresh tracks, and the presence of nearby rivals. The opening is rarely immediate contact. Two bulls will spread their ears, lower their heads, and produce low-frequency rumbles as a warning. If neither one yields, the distance quickly closes. They begin to press their tusks together, turning their bodies and applying force to move the other back step by step across the ground. The most intense phase often does not last long, but the pressure that follows can continue. The stronger individual may hold access to better grazing, water sources, and more favorable positions within the group. Others observe from a distance, and order gradually reforms. For male elephants, strength is not only about dominance, but also about maintaining distance and preserving stability within the group. The moment a grizzly bear appears, pressure spreads across the entire area. Whether hunting or facing another predator, it immediately creates a powerful advantage. Its strength, resilience, and sheer presence are enough to make many rivals hesitate. In a harsh natural world, few species can shift the balance so quickly. But what happens when the grizzly bear truly begins its attack? In Alaska, when the rivers begin to surge, millions of salmon begin an upstream journey that stretches for hundreds of miles. For the grizzly bear, this is the period of hyperphagia, a biological hunger that drives it to consume up to 20,000 calories a day. To survive the harsh winter, each individual must build a reserve fat layer up to 4 inches thick beneath the skin, turning the river into a stage of patience and strength. Towering waterfalls become prime hotspots, where grizzly bears take control of strategic positions, places where the current forces salmon to leap high above the water. These predators can remain motionless for hours, locking onto even the slightest movement beneath the silver surface. With precise timing, powerful jaws decide the outcome for prey weighing several pounds in a single instant. As the salmon season gradually comes to a close, the current slows and the prey begins to weaken. The grizzly bear leaves the falls and moves toward shallower pools, where it shifts focus to salmon eggs, the densest source of energy, to maximize its biological return. What remains along the stream banks then becomes nourishment for scavenging birds, insects, and even the forest soil itself. That is how nature maintains its balance, and the grizzly bear continues to hold a special place within that cycle. Across the high northern slopes, the bull elk stands as a symbol of enduring strength. Weighing around 1,000 pounds and carrying antlers that can span nearly 4 feet, it commands attention not only for its size, but for its ability to hold ground in harsh terrain. Yet in the eyes of a grizzly bear in need of energy, it becomes a rare opportunity that is difficult to ignore. A pursuit only becomes truly dangerous when the elk is forced onto wet, slippery ground. There, Legs that are agile on rocky slopes begin to lose their familiar rhythm. The grizzly understands this moment well. It does not rush to display force, but quietly closes the distance, using each brief hesitation to build its advantage. However, nature does not always favor one side. The moment the elk regains stable footing on solid ground, the balance can shift quickly, and the grizzly must reconsider the cost of continuing the pursuit. The gray wolf is one of the most formidable hunting strategists in North America. Its pack strength allows it to bring down prey weighing thousands of pounds through speed and near-perfect coordination. As winter comes to an end, the pressure of survival becomes clear across the frozen plains. Food sources decline, many animals weaken, and the pack must make use of every opportunity. When a deer collapses, it is not just a meal, but the result of a carefully calculated pursuit. But just as a moment of calm begins to settle, the balance starts to shift again. From the edge of the forest, an unseen pressure slowly spreads outward. With an extremely keen sense of smell, the grizzly bear detects the scent from nearly 20 miles away, approaching quietly like a force that needs no announcement. Weighing over 800 pounds, the bear requires little display to take control. A few wolves move in to test the situation, but a single turn of its body, combined with 4-inch claws, is enough to create a zone of pressure that forces the entire pack to step back. In the wild, survival sometimes means knowing when to walk away at the right moment. In the end, the grassland falls silent again as the wolves choose to withdraw. Because survival is not about holding on to a prize at all costs, but about knowing when to step away in the presence of an unshakable force. As twilight settles over the rocky slopes, a female deer quietly separates from the herd and moves toward a stream, unaware that the shifting wind has revealed her presence. Not far away, a grizzly bear picks up the signal. Without making unnecessary noise, the massive figure begins to move, then quickly turns into a powerful charge through the darkening forest. Despite its large frame, the grizzly can accelerate to around 35 miles per hour. Ahead, the herd breaks formation the moment the danger closes in. A deer at the edge reacts too late, forced to change direction abruptly across uneven ground and fallen logs. That terrain slows its escape for just a moment, and the grizzly immediately closes the distance. In this wilderness, opportunities often appear only for a brief instant. And for a predator aware enough to seize that moment, the advantage is often decided before night fully falls. In the world of the grizzly bear, territory has never been just a patch of forest to cross. It is food, access to mates, and a boundary that determines who gets to remain. From deep within the woods, an unfamiliar male moves in, trying to replace the old scent marks and claw traces on the tree trunks. The resident quickly appears, slow but full of pressure, as if even the air around it has grown heavier. At first, the encounter is only a clash of locked stares and brief warning signals, but the tension rises very quickly. When both rear up, standing more than 8 feet tall, their massive shoulders and solid muscle are fully revealed. This is not just a display of strength, but a test of resolve between two individuals that neither wants to yield. If neither gives way, the confrontation erupts with high-reaching claws and heavy blows. After several minutes of holding each other in check through pressure and willpower, one begins to slow, then turns away. It is not defeat, but a wise choice to preserve the chance of survival. The territory remains secured in the stillness of the old northern forest. In a harsh, natural world, knowing when to stop at the right moment is also a form of power. Because the mating season is drawing near, and this time, the reward is not only the land, but the chance to carry the bloodline into the next generation. The moose is one of the largest herbivores of the northern regions. Weighing around 1,500 pounds and standing close to 6 feet tall, it resembles a moving fortress of muscle in the wilderness. Its most formidable advantage lies not only in its wide antlers, but also in its powerful hind legs, capable of delivering kicks strong enough to make predators hesitate. Along the edge of a marshy area, a grizzly bear once attempted to press an adult moose into a narrow space. But the moose did not panic. It turned to face the threat, shifting its full weight into a defensive stance, forcing the bear to slow down and reconsider each step forward. The grizzly then redirected its focus toward a mother and calf moving towards the wetlands. The mother immediately formed a living shield, using her massive body and forceful charges to protect the young. But the grizzly did not rush. It applied steady pressure, waiting for a brief opening to shift the balance. Even a single moment of vulnerability can place the weaker target at a disadvantage. In nature, the advantage does not always belong to the stronger or more relentless, but to the one that chooses the right moment to advance or to hold back. In this race for survival, even a single moment can change everything. The grizzly bear is a large, resilient mammal of North America, weighing around 600 pounds and capable of reaching speeds close to 40 miles per hour. With powerful muscles, long claws, and a highly sensitive sense of smell, it stands as an exceptional adapter to its environment. Unlike many specialized predators, the grizzly is an intelligent and flexible omnivore. This allows it to maintain its energy through the most demanding seasons of survival. That is why every time a grizzly bear appears, it is often a sign of an ecosystem still rich with life. The elephant is not only a giant of the savanna, but also a symbol of enduring will. Its strength is not just for dominance, but for protection, preservation, and standing firm. In the harsh wild, that resilience defines the elephant's unique presence. Ahead, many intense journeys of nature are still waiting to unfold. If you enjoy dramatic wildlife moments like these, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay with the channel.